Hi, this is Bernice at Itsy Bitsy Imaginarium. In this video, I'd like to show you how I make my Facehugger pendant. For this tutorial, you'll need 18 gauge wire, 26 gauge wire, flat nose pliers, chain nose pliers, flush cutters, and a dowel to form the tail round, and round nose pliers for the bail. Shall we start? This design can be made in any size, but for this video, I've cut 30 inches of 18 gauge wire. You need to find the centre of your wire and using your chain nose pliers, bend both ends of the wire in the same direction. If you want to make larger or smaller pendants, it's the legs that you have to do the same size. So as long as they're smaller or larger, it should look good. For this one, I measure 1 inch for the legs, making sure I keep my wire straight. Using your chain nose pliers, bend the wire back on itself. It's best to do both sides at the same time, so you've always got the same amount of wire spare to work with at the end. Using your flat nose pliers, squeeze these two ends together gently. This forms your first two legs. Using the chain nose pliers, bend the wire at the base of the leg and make sure the gap between each leg is the same size. Again, doing both sides at the same time. Using your finger or a ruler, make sure each leg is the same size. Squeezing them as you go. You need 8 legs altogether. I'll join you again in a second. Now you have 8 legs, it's time to make the 2 sack sections, one on either side. Using your chain nose pliers, bend the wire back like you would for the leg. Pulling the wire back, let it do its natural curve, as this makes the perfect size and shape for the sack. Pull the wire back on itself, so there's quite a sharp edge to it. And do the same on the other side. There is a PDF tutorial for this pendant in my Etsy shop. For anyone who prefers pictures and written instructions, you can use the discount code Facehugger, all caps and no spaces, to get 50% off. Thank you. When you've got the shape you desire, pull the edges straight, ready for the next stage. Secure your 26 gauge at the curve before the first leg. Now holding the leg, coil round the gap between the legs. Make sure you fill the gap completely, as the next stage will be harder to do if there's any gaps in between. Make sure you hold each leg as you get to it so that it doesn't separate and leave a gap. You need to secure all 8 legs, ending at the last leg, securing again in that gap. And you can snip your wires and the spare part that you did at the beginning so it doesn't get in the way. Squeezing them in so you have no sharp edges. Now you hold the middle two legs and gently pull them apart. Doing this with each set of legs so that it gently curves the body around. It's best to pull the tail to each side so that it doesn't get in the way of the weaving wire. Secure your 26 gauge between the middle two legs and coil all the way around to secure the weaving wire. As you get to that first leg, go round the other side, and this is how you start your figure of 8. Turn it round and hold your two middle legs, snipping that wire so that it's not in the way. Continue to figure of 8 between alternate legs. This can be slightly fiddly as there is a wire already there. But be patient, it looks amazing. You need to continue this figure of 8 weave until you do all of the 8 legs. I'll be back when I get to there. Now you have all your legs weaved, you can snip your wire. And this is where you start to weave the sack sections. Again, doing a figure of 8, coil around the base of the first sack around 5 or 6 times, however many you can fit on it to make a nice little line. Now you want to start doing your figure of 8 around the coil you've just done on the base of that sack. You don't need many goes around this, it's only small. Just till you get to that top curve should do it. Not many goes around really. Very fiddly. Just fill to there. Now you need to carry on with your figure of 8 weave, but we're going to include in between the legs. This just bulks it up a bit. You can do as many as you want. I do around 3 each time between the first 2 legs and the second 2 legs. But you can do as many as you want to make it as chunky as you want. securing it round that base wire there, just at the tip of the curve. And snip your wire and do it again on the other side. Once you've got both sides done, we're going to start doing the tail. Again, this is a figure of 8. Two turns around each side. We'll slowly taper inwards as it's quite wide at the beginning. Just let it go naturally. As you get nearer to the end, it will be as close as the wires will get. Just keep weaving until you've got to the very tip of the wire. Well, about a centimetre to the end of the wire. I'll be back when I've got that far. Now you've got to the end of the tail, you can cut your wire around 5 or 6 inches, just enough to secure it to the base. Bend the wires so that the weave doesn't come off as you're turning it. Using your dowel, hold it tight and gently bend round. You can do this any design you want. This is just the way I like to do it. Making sure all the ends are in nice and tight. Use your round nose pliers to make your bail. You can do this as big or as small as you need for the chain you're going to put on it. Using the weaving wire, go between the figure of 8 weave and secure it. You can secure as many weaves as you wish. Just make sure it's nice and secure. Snip in your wire. Tuck in any ends and pinch them tight so there's no sharp bits. Now you need approximately 5 inches of 18 gauge. And using your flat nose pliers, find the centre of your wire and bend them both again the same way. Connect your 26 gauge, leaving a few inches so that you can connect this to your pendant. Coil all around that end section so it's nice and neat. And now you can start to do your figure of 8 between the two sections. It will slowly taper in again, but you want that. Measure it against your pendant. You don't want the weaving part to be too long. You want it to be just where the base of the tail is. Bend them out so you know where to stop weaving. Keep going till you reach the curves. Now coil round one of the wires until there's about a centimetre left. Now you can snip your wire. And tighten it down so there's no sharp ends. Using the section of wire you've left here, feed it between the gap of the legs at the middle, at the very first two you did. Slide it in there and pull it through. This will hold it tight against the body. Continue wrapping between the two sections until it's all secure. You do this as many times as you'd like, as long as it fits in nice and neat and is nice and tight. Don't want any loose ends sticking out. To finish it off, I go to the side where there's just one single wire, as it's easier to finish a wire off on one base wire than two. And it goes nice and tight between the weave that's already there. Snip your wire and pinch it in, if there is any sharp edges. The wire that's not got the coil on, wrap round first from behind, all the way around the front and back behind again, and the coiled one underneath that, so that both wires end up at the back. Snip them and pinch them in nice and tight so there's no sharp edges. Now to bend your legs. Using your chain nose pliers, just grip the tip of each leg and just bend it. Go all the way round so that you don't miss any. curve as what you've just done, then there again so it curves back in on itself. And there's your finished pendant. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.